Just a friendly reminder that the opinions expressed on this show are not worth a Canadian penny, so disregard anything you hear that might get anyone in trouble. And despite some of the great ideas you may hear, don't try them at home. Go to a friend's house instead.
Time to get a gun. That's what I've been thinking. Well, I could afford one. And if I did just a little less drinking, time to put something between me and the sun. When the talking is over, it's time to get a gun.
Hello and welcome to Slamfire Radio, episode 655, recording live on May 20th, 2026. I'm one of your hosts, Adriel.
I'm one of your other hosts, Dave.
And I am Kowtow Tony.
Hello,
See,
Tony.
by starting the show by surprise, you guys can't interrupt.
Damn it.
Well, we could try. We could just intentionally sabotage.
Yeah, but you
God,
guys don't know when I'm going to start. So
Ambush
I'm
show
thinking-
start.
Mm-hmm.
Damn you, Adriel. Damn you.
I've done a couple of these episodes, so I'm kind of used to your guys' shenanigans and trying to get into it. But why don't we start with what we did in guns? Dave, I want to hear about what you've done in guns.
I actually have done some stuff in guns, but where the heck is my thing here? Hold on. Oh, I've been printing fun 3D printed gun stuff. Before the RCMP gets too excited about that statement, I've been making these little boxes. So,
cool.
yeah, made myself
What is
some
for?
custom
Oh, okay. There you go.
for ammunition, Tony. And
You gotta share the design. So you gotta put this design somewhere, and you gotta share it on our Discord where we talk about 3D printing, Dave.
I will throw
Because
that
I want to make some of those.
It's
I don't care if they
named-
say Kratky on there. I don't care at all.
I didn't do the design. I just added the text. So yeah, I'll post a link to the dude. Level 51. He does some really, really cool boxes. So got a little 308 box, got a little handy little clippy on it. It's got these cool hinges. I probably can't take it apart anymore to show you.
Everything printed in place?
No, it doesn't print in place, print separately. But you can see that right there if you're watching on the video. A lot of boxes, when you try and snap it together, the hinge is a real pain in the ass because it's got the little pins. Sometimes you break the pins when you punch it in. So this guy actually added these ridges, and then you've got the hinge. You put it in up here, and then you just whack it down, and it locks in at the bottom. It's awesome design.
Oh, so it's actually a pinless design.
It's got little bumps on it.
Mm-hmm.
So it does have pins, but it slides in from the top. So you're not like trying to
But you
click
don't
into
have
the
to
hole
add
and
your
breaking
own
them.
steel pin in it.
No.
There you go.
No.
That's nice.
No, that's for losers. This sort of stuff's much better. So yeah, just put it in, you punch it down, clip on the little latch, slide this is the tray. Insert is a separate bit, which won't come out once it's in. And then you've got these cool little things. So I printed
That's
that.
awesome.
I got 22. I got some bigger 22s. I got some for 12 gauge. I'm particularly fond of the yellow and the green. I think that's a really cool color combo.
Military style.
I think for rifle cartridges, that makes a lot of sense. For 12 gauge and 22, they pack too efficiently in the boxes they come in. But
Well, for
308,
12 gauge, as I mentioned, you always have a box that's not full, and it's just ratting around, making all the noises.
I don't like having them in just the cardboard boxes because they get ripped. They fall all over the place. If you're hand loading your own stuff, I ended up with cardboard boxes full of 12 gauge shells, like hundreds of them. And they're just sort of stacked around. So I'm like, screw it. I just printed these. They'll stack nicely. They stack. They're waterproof-ish. More
Density
water
wouldn't be
resistant
great, though.
anyway. What's that?
The density for 12 gauge wouldn't be good, though.
I don't care. How many am I carrying? Each one of those boxes, the bigger one will hold, I think it's 36 shells. How many am I carrying with me when I'm hunting? I've got like 20.
Well, for matches, it's not as convenient, I guess.
Yeah, even for matches, they stack nicely.
That's
I
true.
don't know. I like them. They stack nice and neat. They look cool. You can put your name on them and stuff for funny little sayings. So I've been doing a bunch of that stack stuff. And then I got one of these Turkinelli M3 Super 90 clones from Tactical Imports. So
Have you shot it yet?
No, I may or may not. I don't know. I got a lot of guns I've never fired, to be honest.
I knew the answer to that question, Dave. I wanted
Yeah.
to bug you about it a little bit.
I know. I will try and get it out and shoot it. I'm not really a shotgun guy, but all my semi-auto shotguns get banned, so I need a semi-auto shotgun for reasons. So I decided, what the hell? These things are on sale, not quite half price, but almost, tactical imports, and they're a very close clone of the Benelli M3 Super 90, which is banned in Canada because reasons. I don't know. It was one of the ones they banned in the 90s. I think the reason they banned it was because it's dual mode, so it's pump and semi-auto, because they banned the Spaz 12 at the same time.
They don't need reasons to ban stuff.
I know, but there weren't that many shotguns that got banned, which was interesting, and those were the ones that got banned. So my theory is that it's okay to have a pump gun and it's okay to have a semi, but if you have one of them in both guns, it's now a terrifying weapon of mass destruction. It cannot be permitted in Canada. That's my theory. So it's kind of neat. Like if you're watching on camera, you twist this little thing. So it's semi-auto and it has bolt holdback, which is cool. I don't know if that's a standard thing on semi-auto shotguns, tube fed. I've never seen
Usually, yep.
Really?
Yeah, usually they have it the bolt
Not
hold
for
open.
American ones though.
Not for like the 1100. but
Not
that's
for
it.
the Moscow.
Yeah.
Garbage.
Okay.
You guys are talking about garbage shotguns, like any of the Benellis or Berettas or.
Oh, they do?
Have a lock
Okay.
open.
I can't afford those guns, unlike you, hunting gear guy with all your.
I have a Browning.
Your
And
YouTube
actually,
money.
the Gersan does the same thing. All my semi-auto shotguns, even the Turk.
Well, they're
shit
all
ones do that.
European though.
My Turk shit shotguns are European. Yes.
Is Turkey part of Europe? Okay. Whatever.
Your A5 is also European. It's Portuguese.
And I have like many Turk shit shotguns, and all the semi-autos are all. Anyways, go ahead,
Okay.
Dave.
The mag
I'm
fed's all
interrupting.
dead, but no problem. So semi-auto. So pretty standard semi-auto, whatever, tube fed shotgun. Feed your shells, and it'll take 6+1 if it's 5.5-inch shells. It's chambered for 3-inch.
Two and
You
a half.
can fit
well,
6, 2 3/4. You can fit 6 in. One in the chamber. It doesn't ghost load. I was tinkering with that for a bit to see if I could get it doing that. It does not.
Really? That'll be really weird.
Maybe I'm just doing it wrong. I don't know. Seems to me there's something at the bottom of the bolt that catches the shell. I couldn't get it to shove in far enough. So if somebody knows different, and I'm just dumb.
Technico's video. I think he did one specifically for the M3.
Did he? Oh,
Yeah, I don't know how similar this one would be to the real deal, but
Well, it's not the same receiver. That's why it's non-restricted. So it is
try
a non-restricted receiver. But yeah, I'll check that out. Maybe I'm just doing it wrong. I just tinkered with it. So yeah, semi-auto. And then if you turn this little thing here, which you can very easily do, and pull back slightly on the pump handle, now it's pump gun. So kind of handy if you're doing, if you're shooting non-standard rounds, if you're shooting beanbags or, I don't know, flares. They sometimes won't cycle semi-autos properly. But this thing will cycle because, hey, now it's a pump gun. Yay. I can shoot my special beanbaggy anti-crowd control stuff out of it. So that's kind of cool. Or if the gun got really dirty. Yeah. Yeah, like little, what are they, like 2-inch or something?
1 3/4.
What? Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Inch
Oh,
or
that's,
something.
I'll have to get some of those. So yeah, stuff that wouldn't normally cycle properly. I think this thing says in the manual, it takes 28 drams to cycle it reliably. Something like that.
Oh, one of them units dram. Oh no.
Yeah, I don't know what that actually means, but they also mention in here that the choking handle will remain to the rear with the needle after the last cartridges. I don't know. There's some interesting.
Sound like some Chinese man wrote it. It could.
It may have been. I don't know what happened. Perhaps they had Chinese people.
Turkish.
Yeah. So the translation is
14
hilarious,
rifle.
which I love. I love badly translated things.
Oh
It's
my
one of
god!
my
It
guilty
reminds me
pleasures.
of
It's
my
the best.
dark past, so I don't want it. Thanks.
As a Chinese translator.
Proper English, please.
Okay. So yeah, it's got ghost ring sights. So it's got the ghost ring at the back, and it's got a not fiber optic, but it's got a white dot
Painted
on the
optic.
front. Yeah, two white dots on the back. Adjustable rear sight. Charging handle is pretty tiny. Like to put a bigger one on there. I don't know. It is slightly painful to get rounds in there. I'm hoping once I run
Reduced
some
power
lube
spring?
through it. No,
Sharp?
it's a little sharp. So, and a little, you gotta really punch them to get them in there. So I'm hoping after I run a bunch of shells through it, that'll be a little better. I do find that the pump, I'll just have to get used to it, but tinkering with it, it's easy to get it unlocked, to turn it into a pump. Turning it back into a semi, you've got to look at it and kind of line it up. It's a little fidgety to get that pump arm back in there. But once I practice with it a bit, I'm sure it'll be fine. I probably wouldn't be doing that on the run anyway, unless I couldn't cycle something. Got it with the spare parts kit, hunting plug, so I can hunt birdies with it. And it's got a rail. It's drilled and tapped at the top for a rail.
That's nice.
So yeah,
But it's already got ghost ring sights. I wouldn't be too concerned about it.
From Tactical Imports, they'll ship it to you. So you just select what you want. So you can get all the parts kits and crap, and they'll ship it to you with an assortment of red dots if you want as well. So I have a bunch of red dots that I don't have guns for anymore. So I may throw a red dot on it just for giggles. I haven't taken it apart yet. The manual is badly translated, as I mentioned, so we'll see how I make out when I take it apart. Had to do a bit of reassembly when I got it. The buttstock wasn't attached, so it was actually in a very short box. The buttstock was separate. The little plate back here for clipping on a Garand sling, I couldn't figure out what that was, and then I put it together and looked at it as, oh, you put that in, and then you put the big bolt through the back to hold the buttstock on.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Then there's two
smaller
Phillips screws
screws
in there.
too.
Yeah, the Phillips screws just screw into it. Some people have mentioned online that they've managed to get the Supernova collapsing stocks to fit on these things. So I'm going to have to look into that. Yeah, because it's a really cool stock. I like that. And the gun's long enough, it won't matter anyway. So yeah, it's kind of cool. And it was they're $600. They were $9.99, and then they're on sale because they got discontinued. So go to Tactical Imports if you want an M3 Super 90 clone. I've always wanted an M3, but I could never have them for reasons. So now I have one. So I'm pretty happy with that. CCR Firearms AGM is on Saturday, so I'm going to be going to that. So that's going to be cool. Yeah, it's in Ontario, so I'm like, hell yeah, I'm going to go. And it's only like an hour and a half away from my house. It's down in Mississauga.
Oh, that's not bad.
So yeah, so I'm pretty excited about that.
Day trip for you then?
What's that?
Yeah, and an hour and a half, you're going to make a day trip then, coming back, or
it's an entire day event and dinner afterwards. So yeah, it'll be a day trip. And then I'm just gonna. Yeah, I've got an ORA plinking day at Borden the next day, so it's going to be a late night and early morning. That's it. What have you been up to, Tony?
A few things actually. Let me pull my document up. It's May long weekend, so did do some shooting. I mentioned that my Thunder Bay friend Alami came over, and I promised all my buddies that I'm gonna feed them venison if they came and visit, because it's pretty rare thing for most Asian families to do. Hunted game, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I've done it pretty well, I think. It was done in a sous vide at 130 Fahrenheit. It turned out to be medium rare, which is perfect, but maybe I lean more towards medium well for game meat. And he did comment it was a little irony, but it didn't taste odd. Off, so that's good. Give him a first taste of that, and he can go learn hunting stuff in Ontario and go hunt, because Thunder Bay is kind of in the middle of nowhere and suitable for that kind of thing. Yeah, he has a Savage 308 stainless, so he will be able to do that. That'll be good. I went to one day of the IPSC triple header, which is kind of rare out here, for mini rifle. I did share on Discord I was shooting a gun that wasn't in my inventory a little bit ago. It has this interesting aesthetic for you watching. It is still my Magpul stocked, but bone stock Ruger 1022 with iron sights, and I did shoot the Iron Division People may remember my barreled action from SBI giving me some slamfire issues, and I did talk to Tristan at SBI about it at SHOT Show, actually, at the industry night, and he said, yeah, the blue ones were the early runs for the ST22s, and they did have some issues accepting some bolts, for example, the Ruger bolts, and he already promised me a replacement warranty piece, so thank you, Tristan, and I'll pick that up probably at a later date because my perfect 1022 build, the reason why I actually went with the ST22 versus the 1122 receiver from Fletcher Rifle Works at the very beginning was I want to run a magnified optics, and that is IPSC legal. So for now, or in the future, I might even build a iron only 1022. This one ran pretty good. I had like 2 malfunctions. One of them was on a speed shoot stage, 5 targets, 2 shots per, and I jammed on the very last round. I thought I'm gonna make a makeup shot because I'm shooting close to far. I was like, not worth it. I'm gonna leave it be, and that turned out pretty good. Iron sights are the traditional Ruger style, and if you joined Project Maple Seed, they will tell you how to properly use said iron sights and bury the dot in the valley. And I found even if I don't do that, if I just make it hover a little bit, which helps because the Magpul stock have kind of a flat cheek piece instead. I prefer that comparing to like a traditional swooped cheek piece, because then if your face isn't indexed on the correct spot every time, your sight height wouldn't be quite right, and that matters for iron sights. But the complaint is it's quite a plain Jane iron sight, and I'll have a video for one of the stages on that day. Our squads are quite small. I couldn't get everyone to record me. If I'm shooting in poor lighting condition, for example, into the sun or into the direction of the sun, or in very shadowed places, I wouldn't be able to pick up the sights very well. That also have something to do with my poor eyes. But I did test out all the magazine that Adriel sold me. These are the Pro Mag 22 rounders. I usually use them as 20 rounders. Depends on the stage. I might overload them a little bit. They do fit 25 in there. I don't know if they run like that or not, but they all work for me. I don't know why Adriel's race gun doesn't really like them, but they do.
It doesn't like very much.
It's a race gun.
Yeah, it's a race gun, but I guess I'm not as racy, so it's okay.
Not as
They do-
racist.
Less racist.
Not sure. They do work for me pretty good. I've tried all 3, rotated them through. They all seem to feed 20 rounds, no problem. And that very much can have something to do with the bolt and the chamber, everything like that. I'm using the SBI magazine adapter here. And a note for you out there that are using the Pro Mags with the SBI adapters, you want to make sure that you kind of AK lock back the magazine. If you just push it all the way in on the front, you can see what I'm doing here. It won't lock in because the magazine holds on the back. So what you want to do is make sure kind of lock it back, then won't come out. So again, if you just push it all the way in, but in the front, it just won't lock in.
Yeah, interesting.
So that's a little tip for you if you're having retention issue with your magazines. Maybe try to slow down a little bit in IPSC. And I know Kyle hates angle. I actually don't know why he hates angle foregrips. It's just kind of a familiar feel for me. I've been shooting PCC like that. It's more like a hand index point, and I think it made my wrist a little bit more natural, so it's more
Gives you -2 on
comfortable.
recoil too. Yeah, it's a recoil
Yeah,
buff.
it
That's
gives
important
you
for that. Yeah.
it gives you a buff in ADS speed, but not as good recoil reduction, I guess. But for me, it's a little bit more comfortable for my wrist because it's not as kind of kinked over. That's a personal choice, though. But matching Magpul colors, so that's good. Although I said I don't love black guns. moving on. I stole some Adril's parts for my 303. I don't think I'm going to fully restore this one to mil spec because it does have the optics rail on it, so I'm going to try to reduce the spoilerization-ness of it. And this is the original design stock. It's quite slim in comparison to this one that was already on the gun when I had it. It has a gigantic cheek piece on it, which means it's very difficult to aim with iron sights on it. So yeah, I'm gonna put this. You see, I have a recoil pad on it right now because I have the butt plate, but I don't have the screws for it because that screw is a different style. So I have to get some more parts for it. And
All I'm hearing is I'm a sissy. Yep.
As in what? Restoring the
pad.
Oh, no. I don't have the butt plate on it right now, and I don't want to crack it.
Gotcha.
It's not for my arm, actually.
Okay.
We'll be shooting this with my buddy tomorrow. I have the day off work. He will be leaving for Thunder Bay right after our range day. So yeah, his airport check will be really, really fun. And yeah, so this is more of a temporary solution because I can't really properly attach the butt plate on it. This was the recoil pad I had on my A22 for positional shooting because the length of pull was a little bit short for me. The A22 has turned into more of an action gun, and after the warranty return, probably more of a secondary gun. And this recoil pad is probably going to go on my B22 later because I found that gun to be a little short as well. Next, I mentioned I have a few things from last week I was about to show. First is this Traditions powder flask. It's a brass copper thing because that's spark resistant, so you don't shake it and make it explode. You have your little release button here and then an interchangeable spout piece. And the spout piece is there for you to measure out how much powder. So you kind of hold the release button, you turn it over, you shake it a little bit, you close the valve, you turn it back. That's a measured charge. Usually they come from the factory like this one with 30 grains because that's a pretty common load for black powder pistols. They do sell bigger spouts so you can do less pours for a rifle, for example. For me, 30 grains is decent. I'd use 3 pours for my 50 cal rifle, and that will yield me a 90 grain black powder charge equivalent. It works pretty good, and that's also why I don't have a black powder measure, because I can either use this to do a semi-free pour. I'm not good enough to do a free pour, and I don't think I'm confident enough in that, which is you hold on to the valve, you say 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. Okay, that's good enough.
That's how I hand load. So
sure, I don't go that far, but I know Adriel is kind of a fan of that method, but yeah, I don't do that. So I'm either using this for a semi-free pour, or I'm using this as a calibrated measure, so to speak, and doing basically weight charges of either this is Pyrodex or 777, for example. In Canada, true black powder is really difficult to find, and with Goex, which was a part of Hodgdon, they're changing hands again after Hodgdon sold them, so it's like their third owner now. Things became a little bit more complicated. Pill bottles. This is kind of an interesting finding, because shooting black powder and muzzle loaders is very complicated of a process and involves a lot of small parts and accoutrement. You can have, if you never have pill bottles in your life, good for you. But I was able to get these from family members, and you can put, for example, your brass jag in here, your Luke patches in here. They'll keep them all separated and nice and organized. I guess you can also 3D print something, but pill bottle is just nice and easy. And last but not least, this is a product I generally wouldn't recommend, This is the Caldwell Chronograph 2.0 with Bluetooth. As I mentioned last week, you have to be using a very old version of either Android, maybe iOS. I'm not a daily iOS user, so I don't know for a fact. But for example, the latest Android versions, you can't even use this, connect to this with the app. And their app is kind of no longer updated from what I understand. It's still on the old Caldwell app for their like light passing chronographs instead of their velocity radar, which is more of a Doppler radar type of
So
thing.
it's good for black powder. It's old.
Sure. Or it's good for if you only need to use your chronograph like once or twice a year. If you do IPSC, you load up your hand loads, you make sure it checks out on the chronograph, and then you just stick with that load for the whole year. That's okay. If you're doing a lot of precision rifle shooting and load development, I'll probably recommend either get a cheap lab radar or the Caldwell. I don't know. They don't have a good track record for keeping their app updated, so I don't know. Or the Garmin. The Garmin or the Athlon would be good options. They're much smaller and easier to carry. This is like a thing you have to pack, and for the Garmin, just shove it in your bag and go. I say for the price, they're probably not horrible. And if you don't use the Bluetooth app, just like use it as a traditional muzzleloader, it'd be okay. But
What are they worth, Tony?
I think under $200. So,
Oh, well,
so the price is really good. But again, like other people would say in the old times, you either pay with money or you pay with your time. So pick your poison. Depends on how much money you're spending and how much time you're spending on it.
so this is for the pores, is what you're saying.
Yeah, and you can call me poor. That's okay. Let's go to Adriel next.
Oh, I was just working on one of the things I was going to show, but yeah, did May long. Went shooting some guns with my family. What did we shoot? 300 Blackout.
A lot of things.
The Springfield trapdoor. No, not all the things. I don't have enough vehicle room to take all the things.
You have a trailer though.
I would need the trailer and another trailer. Let's see. Yeah, that, some 22s and that kind of thing. I didn't get very good reliability out of it. So like I had the Feather, which is the same thing, but this is the Flash, which has the better handguard, but otherwise it's the same. The Feather ran better than this one.
Yeah.
How much failure are you getting?
Too much. Now
All
there
the
is
fail.
one thing that some people are having problems. This has two extractors. It doesn't need both, and it can be more reliable by taking out the left extractor and just leaving the right on there. Yeah, that's one of the things I've been reading online. I might try it on this one.
Oh, I have to mention, because I saw one at the match. Well, second time now, but the Adlers, the 224s,
yeah,
they don't run that good. I've seen two
sure
so far, both at matches, and one have extraction problems. This one have more feeding issues. So I probably wouldn't recommend going that route. The 1022 ran pretty good though.
Yeah, my buddy brought one out on May long, and it had problems too. I couldn't get through a 10-round mag.
So buyer beware.
Yeah. I sold a 17 HMR Savage, the bolty thumbhole stock.
93
yeah,
R
93 R17 something
Oh, it looks
BBTS
so
or
fancy.
something
I
like
just hate how their magazine release is a piece of steel. Oof.
And the little guide in the back and all that kind of stuff. The magazine release being steel is fine. Just where it is kind of a
No, it's just
thing.
it's a bent piece of sheet metal. That's it.
No.
And then I did a Delask order. So they had some shorty barrels for the 1022 for very cheap, carbon fiber wrapped. So I bought one. I put it on this.
That's so fun.
It's designed to be a SBR barrel.
Oh,
I love that.
And April was
That's-
asking what
that's
kind
amazing.
of handguard he should put on, and
Well,
I
the other
gave him
handguard
the-
was like out here, and I'm going to get gas and that kind of thing. So it's not a pool. When you said pool noodle, I'm like, not a pool noodle, but pipe insulation. pipe insulation would be perfect.
Yeah.
And yeah, it is perfect.
Yeah, that's a very much an old trick in the Steel Challenge books.
That's fabulous.
Mm-hmm. It's a very light gun. I think this is going to be good for Steel Challenge and that kind of thing, right?
Yeah. What do you figure it weighs?
Do I have my scale down here?
You need the CSC polymer stock. It'll make it even lighter.
Yeah.
Just take a coat
there's
hanger.
really not much to this, and this is like very shootable.
That's cool.
But,
Shootable, I keep my reserved opinion. My face is too fat for
yes,
that gun.
I can get down on it. I can shoot this thing with no
Hurts.
cheek rest on it, and as low as I can get on this thing. But
That's cool.
I might have to build another 1022 now that I've got some parts for 1022. Yeah, so I got that.
Overflowing parts.
Well, and then Delaska's like, oh, you ordered these 1911 buffers. I don't have those. You want a magazine release instead? So they sent me one of those, which, okay, cool. And they had these 223 brakes for cheap, so I got one of those. I'm not putting this on that gun because this like is heavy. This is like
Too heavy.
Well, yeah, it's a solid chunk of steel.
Yeah.
Whereas that bird cage like weighs very little and covers the threads, right? They sent me a bag of pistol parts. So they had like some GSG parts that I was like, oh, well, I wouldn't mind having some GSG parts to just because like they wear out and like they're to get like springs and that kind of thing is kind of a pain in the ass. So I ordered them and they sent me a bag of Beretta 92 parts instead. So I emailed them and like,
so
yo,
close.
these aren't. I don't think that's right. And they're like,
You mean you want the service pistol from the US 2 generations ago instead of 1 generation ago?
Well, if I had a Beretta 92, maybe that'd be cool, but I don't. So, yeah. Anyways, this weekend I may take some students to the range, but they might drop out. There's no matches I can do this weekend though.
Wait, what?
Wait, is there a match in Calgary this weekend?
Oh my god, you're kidding me. Let me
Tony?
see.
Does this look like I'm kidding to you? Does this face look like this is kidding? I have a free weekend. That is
Nice.
that
Sounds
is
like you
not
need to-
allowed to stand.
Weird.
All right. Let me find out.
See if there's one in CDTSA or BTSA or maybe I should go to Calgary. I don't know. Anyways, that's and the other thing that you need to do is probably like with Battle of Alberta coming up, I probably need to get my like gamer guns, specifically the rifle, ready. It's going to be that pump, the SCSA Taipan X. It's
Fun.
That's good.
You're actually gonna really? Okay.
It's
No more
fast,
grand?
It's accurate, and I have lots of 223, and I have big mags for it. So I could run the MRX, but it's nowhere near as fast. It has a 20 round mag,
No.
but it's nowhere near as fast. Nowhere near. It's not even close.
Well, that means now we are going to be on a level play. Well, we were already. You are running the M1 Grand, but now we're going to be
M1
on
Garand, like I had too many jams with it, and
you should feed him more expensive ammo. See,
I have more expensive ammo. I could run the more expensive ammo, but I still think that the pump action is going to be better.
fair enough.
I think so. I think it'll be better, right? Better cartridge, optics instead of irons.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now Adriel's
Optics
going to beat
helps.
me fair and square by a lot.
Do I have a red dot on that thing?
I mean, he was going to do that anyway, Tony. Just to be
Yeah, I
fair.
know,
Shit.
but
No, I got a scope on that thing. That wouldn't put
Yeah.
me in limited. That would put me in unlimited.
just do unlimited. Why not? But put the what happened to your aim point?
I got dots I can put on there, or I can run the Garand.
Uh,
I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't really matter.
Oh yeah, we still won't be in the same division. You're just gonna beat me with iron sights now.
Yeah, whether I run the Garand or I have no idea. I'm not going to run the to a 22 unless I can get a bunch more rounds through it and like see the reliability better. The pump like reliability
Just
is
run the
100%.
shorty, run the 8-inch.
Run the brand new barrel on this gun that I haven't even sighted in and don't know. Well, the cool thing about this barrel though is it's a sporter profile. It should eat everything.
It doesn't have a Benz chamber.
Nope, no Benz chamber, sporter. So it should be like it's probably not going to be as accurate, but it should be
reliable.
It's a close range action gun. It's fine.
close range, but we'll probably have to shoot 200. We'll have to shoot 200 with our 22s. That little 8-inch barrel. Pew, 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 pew. Just
But if you do pull it off, oh yeah,
accuracy
Oh,
through
yeah.
volume. Accuracy through volume, baby.
yeah, just keep shooting.
Yeah. That's it. I don't really have anything else. Let's move on to upcoming events. I do have some PAL and RPALs coming up. They're filling up quickly, but June 13th, 14th in Devon, that'll be a PAL RPAL. And then June 20th, 21st, the weekend after in Sherwood Park, that'll also be a PAL RPAL. So lots of selection in June if you want to do a course in the Edmonton area. For 3-gun, 2 big matches are open right now. Chaz Battle of Alberta is open for registration. That's June 6th and 7th. SPFGA, that team match, is open for registration and practice score August 8th and 9th. And there's one more that I'm going to be going to. And that, is it here? Is it, no, it's not there. I guess I have to go to my schedule to find it. The Peace River 3-gun, June 27th and 28th. That's not a team match. That's an individual match.
Is the team match open yet? No, it will be late season, isn't it?
I don't think the team match is open yet. Yeah.
Okay.
Dave says Proline has black powder if you're looking for
Oh
black
my
powder
god.
in Calgary
I
area.
don't want to explode, so maybe not.
What do you mean? No, you won't. It's fine.
Hit it and then it's gonna explode.
Black powder ignites better. It catches quicker.
But
I don't
have
think
a
it's quite
209.
that. I don't think it's quite that delicate, Tony. I mean, it is. You have to be careful with it. But I mean, somehow the Americans managed to like murder each other for like.
The PAL course like makes
Bunch
you
of
a lot more
wars.
scared of things than you really
Yeah.
ought to be.
I know.
And
Black
Europe,
powder is
too.
one of those things.
Yeah, I mean, don't pile 500 pounds of it in one place and then throw a match in. That would probably be a bad idea in wooden kegs, as we learned from assorted accidents. But be careful with it.
Spark down from a cannon down into there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anywho, maple seeds. Yeah, we got some of those coming up. I don't know why, but we'll have some coming up in let's see, Stittsville. Those have got to be sold out by now. Let me just take a real quick peek at that. Yeah, Stittsville's sold out. That's June 20th and 21st. But you could sign up for the wait list. Like often people bounce last minute. Sunbury in New Brunswick. That's June 27th. Also coming up. That one will have tickets. Yeah, that one will have tickets. Sherwood Park Fish and Game, July 4th and 5th. And where's my other one? September 12th and probably 13th and August 22nd and 23rd. So lots more going there. CTSA, Calgary. We've got those on July 25th, 26th, and August 29th and 30th. Those will go out to range members first, and then Maple Seed members via the waitlist after. So if you want to get on any of those events, sign up to the Maple Seed website for the email alerts, and as soon as they're available, I will email them to you. And that's enough of those. BTSA, you want to cover those, Tony?
Yep. 2 matches coming up this weekend, as you mentioned. I don't see CDTSA having any matches this weekend, but Precision Rimfire season starter on the 23rd, and then 8-stage full day steel challenge on the 24th.
It's 24th Sunday?
Sunday, yep.
Oh.
You're gonna drive 6 hours for a steel challenge match? Jesus Christ.
Well, Dave's texted me saying I should go help with a class and on Saturday maybe, and then I could do a steel challenge on Sunday maybe.
Sure, that works.
Maybe. I think it might
Let me
work.
know.
Might work. Are you gonna shoot that steel challenge?
Not planned right now, but I could.
What are you gonna shoot it with? What can you shoot it with? Can you shoot it like, is that just
I can
pistols
shoot-
only?
You
Rifles?
can shoot pistol, you can shoot rimfire rifle.
Rimfire?
Yep.
Pistol caliber rifle?
If you have one. You could
Lever
shoot a
gun 38.
There's still people shooting chassis.
Yeah.
Chassis pistols. That's okay.
I'm just trying to
That's
think
pieces.
of what I pulled. Do I bring my, I should bring my shadow down and get some reps with that, because that's going to be my weak point for Battle of Alberta. So I should do that.
Fair enough.
But then does that give me time to, I also need to, there's only one weekend, right? Is that what we're looking at here? No, there's 2. Right there,
I hope
24th.
before BOA.
May
Yeah,
30th
2 weekends
and
still.
31st. What am I doing May 30th and 31st, though? Like, there's probably something there. Oh, well, I could do it that weekend. I could sight in my pump rifle there. Maybe I should. Okay, well, if I'm not doing this range trip with students, maybe I'll come down to Calgary for next weekend here.
Fair enough. Well, just sight in your gun at BTS. Bring everything.
No, I want time. I want time. I want to pick a cartridge. I want to see what kind of accuracy I'm getting with it, and I want velocities and
your
proven
Garmin.
and dope and
200
you guys,
yards.
I want 4.
That's too much.
That
Can't
many
have
yards.
it. Sorry.
Dave, you want to talk about our ORA?
Yeah, Tony, you need to do more matches, and then you'll realize that showing up at matches with guns you've never tried and ammo you've never tried is just a recipe for fun for everyone else.
I don't do that. I just test everything beforehand.
I know, but you're suggesting that Adriel should do that. That's
No,
a bad
I'm
idea.
asking him to bring everything down to BTSA so he can test fire at BTSA.
It's just a bad idea. Anyway, Ontario Rifle Association calendar is up. We got a ton of stuff coming up in May and June and July and the rest of the year. So we got a service pistol match on May 30th. We got a 300-yard range practice day, open practice day on 31 May. So if you're in Southern Ontario and you want to come up to Borden, that's a lot of fun. I got the 1,030-yard steel challenge on the 6th of June, a modern precision rifle match on the 6th of June. I'm running a plinking day, 15 and 25 or 100 yards on the 7th of June. And then Coach Sammy is teaching a long-range fundamentals course, 200 to 500 yards on the 13th of June. And you go to OntarioRifleAssociation.ca, click on events.
Cool.
Neat. Moving on to news. North Silva has announced that they will be bringing in something sweet. The CSR 18 IWI Caramel. It's very sweet. It's a $24.99. It's a modern sporting rifle, 18.6 inch barrels.
I love the idea. I don't love the aesthetics. I'm sorry.
Yeah, polymer body rifles are always pretty bulky, though. You get the polymer body, and then you got the metal rails and stuff, just like a Tavor, right? They're big, they're bulky, they work well.
That's fair.
Any more pictures on this?
For example, I prefer the more slender look of the Caltech RFB. That's still full of plastic, so I don't know.
Yeah, but
Maybe
the
I just
RFB
don't
is
care.
prohibited. So
Maybe I just don't care for folding stock that much.
Yeah.
Folding stock. That optics rail is a little bit high, but whatever.
Yeah, it's an IWI. It'll work well. It'll run good. So,
I mean,
think it's
that's
cool. Another
like,
semi-automatic 223 option. Finally, we have another one.
it really comes down to like this versus the Brigade McCassie,
yeah.
right? And I
McCassie.
think between like, okay, which brand do you trust more, Brigade or IWI?
IWI.
It's not even a shit. It's like, yeah, it's not even close, right? Of
But-
course, the IWI is the one you would
How
trust
much
more.
more expensive is it?
Yeah.
600?
I think they're in.
About
I
the
think
same.
bucks?
I think they're both the same. I think the McCassie was $26.99 or something
Really?
like that.
I
Like
thought it's more like 18, but I might be wrong.
No.
I think
Is
it
it
was
that
right around this.
expensive? Holy
Okay,
cow.
so this one's $24.99.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the second.
Brigade. Oh my goodness, McCassie, Canada.
$23.99. So yeah, that's not that different.
Yeah, same. $23.99, same price. That wire stock is going to be worse for a cheek weld compared to.
It is Picatinny ended though. You can have anything you
Oh,
want.
okay, but this one has a stock already on it. Like you and
I prefer if I can replace it. Thanks.
okay.
But,
I don't. There's not very many Picatinny rail, like
Contrary Tony
nice
tonight.
Picatinny rail stocks.
The,
There's lots of nice buffer tube stocks. There's not a lot of nice Picatinny rail
there is
stocks.
one for Magpul now. Magpul
How
has
much
a
is that one?
I forgot. It's not that expensive.
$200.
Yeah, you buy a $2,000 rifle. Come on.
Okay, or you can get the one that's $100 more and comes with a.
Tony doesn't like the look of it. He's just going to argue everything. You're going to be like,
I
it's
know,
black. He's
I
going to be
know.
like, I don't like black.
Uh,
want it
he
purple.
doesn't.
That's a
doesn't.
known fact though. It's not like I came up with it.
Anywho, you don't like
1913
black?
Picatinny
Yeah.
rifle.
Yeah,
220 US dollars.
It's cool that's coming in. Well, yeah,
it's neat. More semi-auto options is good. My favorite comment on that Canadian Gun Nuts thread is that like black rifle owners are like cockroaches. The government just can't kill them, which is good.
Fair enough.
Okay,
Rimfire 22 is
Dave,
black.
are you going to pre-order either of these rifles?
So tempting, so tempting. People will, absolutely. People
I'm
will.
not.
I think the IWI is more enticing than anything else because more
the
proven track record
Uh-huh.
of IWI.
Yeah. But the
To
question
be
is,
honest,
have-
they both look pretty good.
yeah, the brigade's been getting good reviews. It's been around
Mhm.
for a bit, so
Mhm.
yeah. But the fact is, the government will absolutely be banning these sooner or later. 100%.
Why haven't they banned them?
No, because
were
you
these-
have to
were these
make a
FRT
They
big
approved the
announcement.
FRT.
When?
Probably because we haven't had an election lately. So I suspect maybe when they have another scandal, they'll toss that in another round of bans.
Well, the other thing that could happen, Dave, like maybe with the election, maybe, but the other possibility is that the feds will ban these. The RCMP will FRT ban them.
Suddenly discover they're in AR-15 variant.
Yeah, and they'll ban them, and like that is absolutely something that can happen. I'm at this point, I think I'm thrice bitten, 4 times shy. So
yeah,
I don't think I'm buying another replacement gun that I think can get banned until this government changes.
Yeah.
Unless if it sits for a year. Okay, wait. If it's a year, I'll buy one.
All right.
But if they land in country, I'm not buying until they've been here for a year.
I was actually surprised they approved the FRT on them because they're semi-auto mag-fed rifles. So,
but they were designed before the cutoff.
I'm still surprised they didn't just say it's an AR-15. It's got
no, Dave. Here's
on it.
my thoughts behind that strategy. You have to. It's a pull. You have to fill that pull up to a point before you ban it, so it looks good, right? We banned so many makes and models of firearms again because there's a loophole. So we gotta. It's a cow you have to milk once in a while, not all the time.
True.
It's an interval, I guess, because they.
Yeah. Again, scandal or election, and then they'll find something else to ban. And eventually, once they banned all the semi-autos, they'll just say we're banning semi-autos, and then use that. So, unless our government changes, and then we'll be good, hopefully.
Yeah, I think the only thing that could happen is good on that side. Let's get over to new gun stuff. The first one we've got here. Sorry, I've got a little bit unsorted compared to what we've got over there. Oh, maybe that's the same actually. Mossberg Maverick Bass Pro has it down at $299 right now. This is the 28-inch barrel version, and I believe this one comes with a mod choke in it. It doesn't say in the specs, but this one comes with a mod choke. I know.
Good option for a first shotgun, general purpose.
Great,
free shipping.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, great option. Not one if you want to get into 3-gun because you can't put a
tube on a 88 or a 500. You can pull one on a 590.
Yeah, not on this one. Screws into the end, but great price and nice and reliable. Good for a PAL gun too. No lifter. Just drop the shells in there and push forward.
Yeah, they can't. Yeah. Well, when you have the pump back, you can't load the tube, so it's idiot-proof in that sense.
You'd think so, but what that actually does is that people pull it back to do their checks, and then they look to load it, and they're like, "Oh, I guess I'll load it through here," and they try putting it in the ejection port, and then they try to load the tube from the ejection port. And some of them
like it's a 1870 like the lever action gun. You have to load it from the top.
Yeah. Someone succeeded that, even though it's like sometimes they'll be doing that. I'm like, does that look really? That feels really hard, doesn't it? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, huh? You think they made an easier way to load that gun? That's the ejection port you're trying to load it through. You could try. Anyway, okay. This is a huge deal. If you have a 20 gauge or a 28 gauge, you have to get to Bass Pro today. You have to, if you can't make it, if you can't drive it down there because it's too late and they're closed, all their locations are closed. You first go to slamfireradio.com, click on the link, go to the Bass Pro website because they have crazy good pricing on 28 gauge and 20 gauge. Their 28 gauge for their number 6 shot is $23.98 for Challenger. That is nuts. Their number 4 shot is not on sale, but their number 6 is. That is absolutely nuts for 28 gauge. Their 20 gauge,
Yes.
absolutely nuts as well. $12.98
Oh wow, that is
for
actually a good deal. What the heck?
That is crazy good. The cheapest I've seen 20 gauge in the last 7 years has been $15 a box, and this is sitting at 13, and it's 7.5. It'd be great for clays and that kind of thing. They also have number 8 for $15.98. Why would you? When the 7.5 is $13?
Let's go as the 7.5 then.
Yeah,
that is good. The 20 gauge deal is crazy. 28, if I have 20, a 28,
normally 28 is much more expensive than that.
I get it, but to me, if that's the case, I'll just sell it and buy a 12 instead. In the long run, it's cheaper.
You're not a 28 gauge buyer though.
True, I don't have kids.
No, or it's a arm strength thing as well, like holding the gun up. Like a 28 gauge is going to be significantly lighter to hold up. Anyways, this ammo is very cheap. If you got a 20 gauge, buy a flat of this stuff. Buy 2 flats. Do it with the Bass Pro link from the Slamfire Radio website, and do it today because it's not going to be that price tomorrow.
Well, Wednesday, gotta do it today. Today.
Mm-hmm. It's nice seeing that though. It's nice seeing the better prices for some of these because they've been so high. What was also nice to see is Duria TM22 mags making a return.
25 rounders.
Calgary
Shooting Center.
Yep, they got some 25 rounders for.
And I tried to put in 10, so they have at least more than 10. So go get them now.
10 rounds?
No, as in 10 of them in stock.
Oh, I see. Yeah, they got some. There's also, I saw online there was a guy who was selling little 4 or 6 round extensions on them.
Must be Gary out of Calgary, I think. Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah. Which is kind of neat. Yeah. People are starting to do more stuff for that. In country, there's also the Duryet DIPA, DYPA. It's their 9mm.
The one we saw at SHOT Show. They have the 12.
No, they didn't have the pump at SHOT Show.
They did.
They had the bolt. They didn't have the pump action there.
Maybe they have the pump 22, not the pump 9mm.
Yeah, maybe.
Takes clock
this
mags.
thing's dope.
Cool.
Look at where the magazine release is. That's dope.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's extended back like the wishbone that you can get for the PC9.
Is it a push forward or push from the side?
Push from the side, I believe.
Okay, slick.
Mm-hmm. Very slick.
Left-hand
charge. Oh, 700. Is that all it is? 730.
You can have the short barrel or the long barrel. Is it time for me to get back?
It takes Glock mags. That's right there.
Is it time for me to get back to IPSC PCC now?
No, because you'd get wasted trying to compete with this against Homesteader guys.
How many Homesteaders are out there, though?
I've seen a couple. I've seen them jam, though. So you might be able to make up some time just based on that if it ran. But it's still like on a rifle, a pump versus a semi is a huge downside. On a shotgun,
but I'm
you
just
can
out
make
there
it up,
having fun, and I can rank GM because there's no competition against me shooting this thing.
It's cool though.
Funny.
Like if a little
That's
like
neat.
fart around gun. Yeah, that's.
I want
like
more
it.
wood. This is a weird problem. I want more wood because for me this is not very practical.
The
I
stock
wanna see
looks
more wood.
as cheap as you could possibly make it. Like this back stock here looks
Yeah.
incredibly cheap, and the front stock looks nicely contoured. I don't mind it, but the back stock
It
looks,
doesn't have bottom
cheap.
Quite an angle on it too.
M-lock rails. I want that so I can put some kind of a grip on it, but that's me.
Yeah, I mean,
Not
here I'll show you guys the rear stock.
Off of a different one.
No. Okay,
Oh, you've got one.
look at the picture on there, and then get
It's
ready.
pretty similar.
Look at that one. Yeah, it's even got look at the grip panel, Tony. The grip
Yeah.
panel is like very similar.
They just
like
didn't. They just didn't texture it.
and this one has a cheek riser, and that one doesn't.
Yeah, no
Interesting.
cheek riser, thanks.
Yeah.
Huh.
Anyways, yeah, dope.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So we don't have any, right? We don't have any pump action 9mm. That's a crazy idea. It's kind of
We
neat.
don't have any PCCs really. Other
Homesteader.
than the Homesteader.
Homesteader's it.
There's
yeah.
the
And
Taylor
the
and Co.
camp.
9mm PC.
Oh, I heard bad things about
yeah.
it. The PC-73. Yeah, I've heard terrible things about reliability
The head spacing doesn't seem right.
Yeah, bad head spacing and everything. Okay, moving on. Let's go to the main topic. So, welcome to the show, Mark from Serbu Arms. Mark, welcome. Why don't you tell our listeners what you're all about?
Well, it's Serbu Firearms.
Serbu Firearms, yeah.
Technically, legally, but what are we about? Well, we're I don't know, what do we call? What do they call us? Actually, they call my company, like people who know business, call my company a lifestyle company, which means it's not really a serious company. Like normally you go into business and you have all these goals, like, okay, we're going to hit 1 million revenue, then we're going to get 5, and you scale and you hire all these people. No, this was like Mark's daycare for the last 30 years. So, but along the way, I've made some cool stuff, and we've got I don't know, probably almost 10,000 guns out there. Basically 10 days worth of Kel-Tec production we've got out there in the last 30 years. And we're kind of a niche manufacturer. We mostly make 50 caliber rifles. We've got the Super Shorty, which is our most popular one. And I tell people all the time, it's like being Leonard Skinner with Freebird. Everywhere you go, people yell out Freebird, and you're like, Jesus, I'm so sick of that fucking song. And the Super Shorty is the same way. For me, it was always a hack, and it's not a real, it's not a real gun designer thing that you sit down and work your ass off and create something. It's just like, oh, let's chop this off, make this stupid little mechanism for the cocking slide in. But you can't look at it that way from a business standpoint, because people want it and they sell. But I don't know, I still don't like it. But anyway, here I am, 30 years later, just mostly doing what I want and not making enough guns, but we're trying.
So I love the fact that if you search for Serbu, the first video that pops up is it awesome or just dumb about the Super Shorty?
Well, was that my video? Because that's my thoughts exactly. I always say that.
That was Forgotten Weapons.
Oh yeah, and he really liked it. Yeah, Gun Jesus. Yeah, he's
Jesus,
he did a great video on the BFG 50A. That was a really good one. He definitely showed it in a good light, and that gun it's our flagship product, but it's such a pain in the butt. It's kind of like a part art project, so it's difficult to make. So they don't go out of here fast enough. They don't ship out fast enough for me to get a jet. So I just got a regular little airplane. So you
just got to sell more of these bad boys to get to the jet.
And I need to raise
an AR gas tube.
No, well, it is and it isn't. It used to be DI. Now it's piston.
Oh,
well, that's interesting. So we're looking at the BFG 50A for the folks that are not watching us as you should be. That's really cheap for a semi-auto 50, even in US dollar.
Well, it's going up $1,000, so get it while you can.
Well, pro tip for the non-Canadians listening in freedom lands.
Inflation is happening.
Yeah, there's some in Canada, but not anymore. I mean, they had to all get exported, which really sucks because
there might still be some here, but they're prohibited. People are just like sitting on them in their house.
What's funny is the very first one. Somehow I have the gun back in the shop. I don't know how it came back to me, but the very first one that went to Canada. Apparently you have to take it apart and show the RCMP a bunch of stuff so they can categorize it or something. I don't know, but
yep.
But the thing is, the guy didn't get a hold of us to get like the armorer's kit for the tools, so he just like hacked shit away and sawed it and just basically destroyed it, taking it apart. I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with you?
Wow!
Wait,
you don't have screwdrivers?
Like, did you loan them a gun to evaluate, or did you sell them a gun to evaluate?
We sold it, but the problem is the original ones. Okay, the new ones, it has my patented spoke system that holds the handguard on. It actually has 6. They're not technically bicycle spokes, but they're threaded the same way, and they actually use the little bicycle spoke nuts on the end, on the very end. And it's cool because it threads into the trunnion. The handguard slips over, and then you have the end cap, and then you got these 6 screws. it's really funny because we have to crank it down, and we have to actually tune those wires, and it's a really funny thing. I had to actually ask an old college professor how to figure out what tension to put in, what musical note, and there's something called Van's law. Yeah, some French fucker in the 1700s figured out the relationship between tension and pitch, and it's funny because it's a big ugly bunch of. It's not terrible. It's not great.
So you should hire like a piano tuner to like come and tune your
guitar tuner.
I have to go. I go to the piano. I got a piano in the break room, and I hit the D above middle C is what gives me 1,000 pounds of tension. So I just go out there and go. You got to go in there and you got to flip them all and tighten.
Oh, too much.
So it's pretty neat.
That's funny, Mark. I got a request to someone on our chat wants to show you what they've done with one of the. They call it a Grisboo. It's a Serbu with the grizzly.
I'm just kidding.
That's okay. He'll like that you almost barfed when I showed it to
you. Can you turn off my camera for a second? No, that's
okay,
cool.
I'll turn off the screen. Let's make it better.
I like making fun of shit, but I appreciate people taking doing their own thing and coming up with whatever. I mean, it's kind of it's a difficult balance because it's really fun to make fun of somebody, but on the same token, it's kind of nice to appreciate what they do too.
You're being too nice. You can be a little bit mean to him. It's okay.
Oh, hey,
I know.
You're a faggot. No. Put that.
No. Nice.
What's really cool? Some freaking kid. I mean, he was like 7 or 8 years old. He actually made a super shorty out of Legos, and I was like, wow, that's pretty neat. And I commented on his video, and I don't think he said anything. I didn't even think he realized that I'm the actual guy who made the thing he copied. So if he knew, he'd be like, "Oh shit! Whoa, wait a minute."
So you know what the funny thing is? I've noticed that on a few of my videos. I've commented on something, and the person who did whatever I was commenting on, one of them I didn't notice for like 5 years, and then I was like, "Oh my god!"
Oh shit! It's that guy.
Right.
The OG.
So, hey, question for you on the BFG 50A. You mentioned that it was originally direct impingement, and now it is piston driven.
Yeah.
How did you do that? Like, how much manufacturing was required and fidgeting and stuff to get that to work?
That's the literally $1 million question, because I probably lost $1 million trying to solve that. The problem is it's not tough. I mean, it's just like, okay, I've got this envelope, the size of the trunnion, and I got this hole that the gas tube used to go through, and the gas tube had a little piston. In fact, the original one, it was very tight tolerance. The shape of the gas tube, and this end was silver soldered on, and it was hard chromed, and it's like 2 thou clearance between the outside diameter of that piston part and the hole in the bolt carrier. Well, the problem is, the bolt carrier has a little bit of slop. And then, of course, it's really hard to get a bent up piece of tubing to be super accurate. So when that thing goes, don't mess with this later, because that's a really good way to make me look like. So anyway, that's beautiful. Bolt carrier goes over the tube. It's difficult to make sure that it not only does it align properly and go in there, but also if that thing is canted the slightest amount, it's like it Chinese finger traps the shit. Chinese finger trap there, Tony. Chinese finger traps the shit out of the tube, and it was a constant struggle to make that thing work right. Somehow the what is that? The Youngman or the Hakim or the French MAS 49/56, those guys all did the same kind of thing, obviously before I did, and somehow theirs worked. Finally, I figured out that even though the gas tube was like freaking 15 inches long or so, and I thought, well, certainly over that length, you're going to have, it's going to bend, it's going to be pliable, and it's not going to Chinese finger trap it. But of course it did. So I'm like, shit. So I finally figured out, okay, I've got a thread on that piston on the end of the tube. And I started out with a fairly fine thread. Then I went to a much coarser thread because it needed to be able to, have degrees of freedom to not.
Oh, wow.
And then, so you had to thread this thing on with a fairly loose thread. And that required also we had to have a little piece of wire, a spring that wrapped around it and went into a tang on the back of the piston so it wouldn't just unscrew. But it had to be able to move but not unscrew. It's just like, God damn it. So I think the gas tube probably went through about 5 iterations, and finally I'm like, there's no reason to keep this like this, and I hate it. And I also hated the fact that you had to have this high tolerance or tight tolerance hole in the front of the carrier, and it was close to the top of it. Anyway, I just said, fuck it. And I filled one up. I put a plug in there, welded it in place, faced it off. So now I got a bolt carrier that doesn't have a hole. It's just got a face there. And now I just took some piston. I made something that's about that long and about that big around, just whatever would kind of fit in there. And I threaded it in, and I just ran the gas tube into it. And the piston, I think, was about 0.688. I'm not going to convert it to metric because I'm heterosexual. So I still fucking hate the metric system. I'm sorry. It's just
We do too.
We use both here.
We use both.
Yeah. It's
Sorry,
okay.
I was grown up in the wrong country, so I
Yeah.
hold my opinion.
We use that, we use that saying all the time. It's like, yeah, there are countries that use the metric system and there are countries that have put men on the moon. But of course, the people who really know are like, well, all the calculations were all in metric system to get them. I'm like, oh, fuck you, I don't care. So, anyway,
But when they got there, damn it, it was miles per hour.
yeah, goddamn right. But anyway, so I made this piston 0.688, so it was pretty damn big. So the existing gas hole was just way too much. So it blasted the shit out of it. So I had to make a much smaller gas hole. And also, it's one of those things, you play with gas piston guns, and you're like, gee, that piston moves quite a bit, but how much does a piston need to move? And on the original one, I had the piston, like the piston rod could move about 1 inch. And there's a really interesting video that I did where I actually I took a high-speed camera and I looked up in the ejection port, and you could see when the gun fired, like the bolt comes back, and you could see that the rod kind of poked out, and then it went back in, and then it went out. I'm like, how the hell is that thing bouncing? There's no spring. And I was freaked out for the longest time. And I finally figured out it was just gas blowing by that acted as the gas became a spring itself. But anyway, the point of it is I went from that big, ungainly, huge piston system that I threaded in there. I went down to, I figured out that I could actually put the piston inside the trunnion. And I was like, wow, this is cool. So it couldn't be 688 diameter. It was all the way down to, it was a half-inch diameter. Yeah, it was half-inch diameter. And it fit inside the trunnion. And I tested it and I tried it. And by the way, the piston travel was about 3/16 of an inch. And I figured out ultimately it could be nothing. Like those, it's called Newton's cradle. You have those things on the desk where you got 5 balls suspended. The ball hits one and the balls in the middle don't move, but it just transmits the momentum. And the gas piston is the same way. So I'm like, I could make this, and I'm going to do it just to prove it. But I think you could make it so there's literally no travel, like maybe 10,000ths of an inch, because people don't realize
you're just transferring momentum.
Yeah, the gas system. It's not like it's sitting there going blowing. No, gas system. The gas hits like a sledgehammer. It's like bam, it's there for 3 milliseconds and gone. So you're smacking the shit out of that piston, and it imparts the momentum to the carrier, and then it just bounces away and doesn't care. So anyway,
kind of like a transfer bar revolver, right? The bar doesn't move a ton; it just transfers the power there.
I did that, and I tested it out. Like, cool, this is great, no problem. I love it. And so I got hundreds of pistons made, and they're plated and everything, and we're starting to ramp up to produce these things. And I'm all excited, and then I'm test firing the first production gun, and it's short strokes. I'm like, what the hell? Because I got all these notes from a year ago that everything worked. And so I'm messing around with stuff. I'm opening up the gas hole. I moved the gas hole. I tried everything. I was like, holy shit, it's no good. The piston is not big enough. And guess what? It doesn't fit in the trunnion if I make it any bigger. So holy shit. So now I went and had to make another cylinder that went outside of the trunnion, but it's smaller. It's this time I think I made it. I went from half an inch. I think I went up to 9/16, like 5.6 something. So now I started playing around with that, and it worked. And of course, I also had to come up with the right vent holes. And people don't realize what vent holes do on your gas cylinder. You always see them on the AK or the SKS, but do you need them? What do they do? And for the first ones, I didn't put any gas holes. And then on one of the earlier ones, I put like 3, 120 degrees apart. I put 3 of them. Then I put 3 of them 120 degrees apart farther down the cylinder. And when I looked at it in high-speed video, I could see like fire coming out of some of those holes. So that means, I'm venting that while it's still got energy. So that's a dumb idea. So I got rid of those. So I just left the holes at the bottom. And the only reason is for, you know what windage is when you've got kind of like positive crankcase ventilation on a car. You're just trying to get the space underneath. You don't want it to be a spring. You want it to be able to evacuate. And also you get some blow by of the gas. You want that to escape too. So anyway, I did that. So I got the piston. And unfortunately now this thing is between the top of the barrel and the bottom of the handguard, and there's about that much space in there. So this thing is, 9/16 diameter piston, and the wall thickness on that cylinder, it's way too thin. You look at it, it's like, how does this work? This is going to blow up, but it doesn't, because I don't know, magic and engineering. It's very strong steel, but you can't get too strong because then you get brittle. So it's, there's a delicate balance there. But so anyway, I got this little piston, got my cylinder around there. And all these things are different materials, different heat treats, different plating. And anyway, now it works, and it works beautifully. But God, it probably cost me about a year of screwing around. And it really sucked because we were cranking out our single shots. I mean, we were putting out 80 rifles a month, which for us is huge. And we were just going gangbusters. Then we got caught up on our backlog, and now we're trying to transition to the 50A, but it wasn't ready. So I'm just bleeding money. And we had like the worst year in 20 years because of all that. So
you're not making the single shots anymore?
No, we are, but we're trying to concentrate on the semi-auto because there's way more money there, and we need money right now. So especially since we're hemorrhaging it during this freaking move, which is just awful.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, I was aware of the single shots before, like the little screw on the back ones that you had that were
150. We need some blow up jokes now, don't we?
Put a thumb in it.
Put a thumb in it. No, I think they were cool. I think that no one else is making anything near that price, not even close.
The thing about it, it's I think it's a good exercise. I don't know what it's a good exercise in. It's either an exercise in getting something to market really quickly, but it's kind of a dumb gun if you really look at it from the standpoint of definitely for the military. I mean, the fact that the breech cap, you unscrew it and drop it, and then you're fucked. You're like, oh my God, this is the dumbest thing ever.
No. Mark, you just held the gun that's inspiring the idea. You should mass manufacture the screw top 50, drop it into the countryside of France to stop German tanks or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, 9 years ago,
very cheap. You just need one shot, and then you can steal their weapons. It's great.
Oh yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's got some really cool features. One of them is the fact that it uses I ripped off the Sturmgewehr takedown pin. So it's like a big Sturmgewehr takedown pin, which of course the HK is used as well. But the nice thing is you pull that pin, and now you got an upper and a lower, and it'll fit in a much smaller case. So that's cool. Fit in your trunk, whatever. But in the screw cap is kind of silly, but it's definitely strong enough. Unless you run across a round like Scott did, then but nothing could withstand that. And luckily he showed that. And but some people still don't care. They're like, oh, you made a piece of shit. That thing's a bomb. You deserve to be in jail. And I've heard it.
I saw it on the internet, so
yeah, so it's got to be true.
It must be true.
But
we got a question here from the comments, Mark. How's the shop move going? Have you moved everything over? Is the new shop larger? Test fire range, that kind of thing?
Fuck. No. It's awful. It's the biggest clusterfuck I've been involved in a really long time, and it sucks because I'm involved in it. The move, we started off, and I inherited my parents' real estate abilities because they're terrible. They buy low and they buy high and sell low. They've owned beach places in Ocean City, Maryland, and sold them. They made a little bit of money, and then of course 5 years later they skyrocket. All their properties have been like that. So I've got that ability. So anyway, we started off. It turns out the building we're in that we thought about buying about 8 years ago, and then we just didn't. I'm like, the economy's going to crash. We're going to get something on 20 acres, and it's going to be great. Fuck this place. But no, man, that place was awesome. We could have got it for $400,000, and now it's worth over $1 million. So somebody bought it. Of course, picked us out. Yeah, and the rent used to be $2,700 a month. Now it's $5,000 a month. And the place we're going, we went from 6,000 square feet to 3,500 square feet, and we went from now it's 5,000 a month. Now we're paying 6,200 for the new place, which is about half the size. So it's terrible right now. But we tried to buy a place we looked around for 10 months trying to buy a place, and we finally figured out that we couldn't qualify because we had 2 shitty years after transitioning to the PFG 50A. It's like they don't care if you got 30 years of great business and you got 835 credit score, all this. They don't give a shit. It's like, oh, you suck for 2 years. Fuck you. And it's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're rushing around the last 2 months trying to find a place to go, and nobody wants us, period. I mean, it's like, oh, you make guns? Yeah, no, our insurance is going to be a problem. So we finally found one place that would
Even
allow
in
us.
Florida? Really?
Yeah, I know. It's completely nuts. So we're in this place. We're allowed to be there, but we're not allowed to test fire in there anymore. So no more blowing holes through the back wall. So we were not going to do that. I know. It's really funny too. I have holes above the bullet trap because sometimes you're in there shooting a machine gun or something, and maybe you're drunk. And no, I'm just kidding. But I was shooting an M11 once, and I was like, and then I thought it was done. I'm like, okay. So then I kind of relaxed my grip a little bit, and it turned out the bolt was just stuck back. And as I relaxed, it just went like, shit. And just punched a couple holes in the wall. And of course, I look out the door and through the building behind me too. Hopefully nobody in there. That's we joke about it, but holy shit, can you imagine if you killed somebody that way? Like, that's pretty bad. But then again, that's probably God's plan. So
could be your legal defense. Well, as God intended.
God's plan. Yeah, I came back from a trip once in our old building, and I look and above the test firing the bullet trap, there's a freaking Band-Aid like 20 feet up in the air on the wall. I'm like, what is there a Band-Aid on the wall? I had a test firing accident. This fucking idiot working for me. He took an RN50 and he loaded it, and he's pulling the hammer down as he's coming down on the target. So he's like,
how would you do that?
Oh, and he slips off the hammer, and it's here, and it's like 45 degree 50 cal downtown Tampa airport. God only knows where it landed, but oh my God.
Somebody 5 miles away has a bad morning.
Yeah,
Jesus.
No doubt at all. I mean, it may have made it to the bay, but I don't know. Well, that's bad. So
the Band-Aid fixes it. Don't worry about it. The Band-Aid's on it.
Yeah, and oddly enough, somehow the security footage was not there for that one. I don't know how that happened.
That's like an Epstein thing, eh?
Yeah.
Anyway,
the fire itself.
So yeah, the whole move it sucks. It sucks so much, but it's my fault, and I figured this is like being in purgatory here for a few years, and we're going to be saving up and buying a place, and we're not going to have a landlord. And it sucks because 20 years ago I had land, which is ironically like a 1/10 of a mile from south of where I am now. I owned these lots, had a building plan approved, ready to go. But it was 2007, and it was like just before everything went to shit.
Oh.
So I sold off the lots, and now here I am getting raped, a 1/10 of a mile north there. It's just so yeah, move sucks. Thanks for asking.
Ever thought about just doing a Greno move out of the state?
No, I can't. I mean, I got all my grandkids are here. I got
Fair
4
enough.
grandkids. I got my kids are here, and my airplane's here. I've been here for almost 40 years, so that's crazy.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
And to be honest, Florida, I think in recent years has been more friendly towards firearms and stuff.
Big time, yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
it
great,
definitely helps a little bit.
a lot of great laws. I mean, and Ron DeSantis, like I was telling you earlier, the Canadian guy I bought my airplane from, he didn't like him because he didn't make him stay home enough, so he went back to Canada.
Too much freedom. What do I do with all the freedom?
It's freedom, drowning in freedom.
I can't imagine that. I mean, I can see being in any country or any state. Like there are a lot of states where they lock you down really badly, and people came to Florida. They're like, "Oh my God, this is so great!" And somehow we're not dying either. Weird.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That whole thing. That sucked. What a shitty.
It was kind of crazy here in Ontario because we had, I think, actually the strictest rules for a while in the Western world, as far as I know. And I was talking to some people who posted photos of, Hockey game back home, 0 people. And they're at a hockey game in Florida, 50,000 people. No masks. Everybody's
As it
just
should
having
be.
fun. And
I'm
they
just
didn't
holding
die.
it.
So.
Does this look like it's not centered? That little hole in the back?
Uh-huh.
Well,
Wow.
Also, why is there a hole in there?
I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't look quite centered.
no.
It's a little
And what
to the-
is that?
I'm going to take it back.
What are you playing with there, Mark?
It's a Liberator. It's a
Oh.
reproduction Liberator.
I thought so. That's cool.
Yeah.
It is. It's a
Neat.
neat little
You've got an airplane, so yeah. Airdrop those.
Need a whole crate of them. Go to France.
They're too expensive, guys. But it would be a good airplane gun. A survival gun. If you got to crash in the Everglades, you got to shoot an alligator.
Doesn't have
and
an
eat it.
extractor, Adriel. That you don't want your follow-up shop to be like that.
Well, this is my usual airplane gun right here.
Oh, that's freaking adorable.
Yeah, I had this on me when we toured Caltech. I flew my son-in-law over there. You know, they're just on the other coast of Florida. We went over there a few months back. Those suckers put out 1,000 guns a day.
Wow.
A day. That's insane.
It's
Wow.
better. They used to. I remember back in the early days, they had a reputation of not meeting demands. I guess they are.
Well,
now.
we're in Canada, so we don't
That
get the
too.
first pick. We get like after everyone else has had their fill, then we get a little feed, and that's
I
it.
do
Now we
like-
don't get any Caltech stuff.
Well, shotguns still.
Any
I think
Caltech?
that's it, though.
Oh yeah, the
Yes,
KSG or
All the
whatever.
rifles are dead. No more
Yeah.
pistols.
Oh, wait, cheers, guys. Who else is drinking beer? Just me? Oh, there you go.
Homemade wine. Homemade wine.
What kind of wine?
Water.
Red.
Red.
Red. Yes.
I
What
guess a
animal
cab
was on the
tab.
bottle?
Be proud of
No.
your
That's how I buy my wine. I decide what animal I'm fond of that day, and I buy the bottle that has that on it. Last time it was a bee. It wasn't bad.
Yeah. So maybe coming back to guns here, Mark. I got a question from a host that couldn't make it on today. But does the Buttmaster come in female versions, or was it always intended as unisex?
It I don't know if you know the story, but there's a
Tell us.
Yeah, give us
this-
the whole deal.
The list, there's a list. It's called the NFA list, and it was a group of guys. It's still going on around the world. It was an email list before. I guess it started in probably 94 or something. It was before a lot of the internet really happened. So this was a private email list, and it was guys all over the world. It was 100. I guess at the most it came up to about 200 something guys, and I mean there's guys in there from Switzerland. All over the U.S., Finland, and some really famous people have been on there. Like Peter Kokalis was on there for a while. You know who that guy is? Old crotchety gun writer from way back. Wrote for I can't even think of this shit. It's so old. Not Machine Gun News, but Soldier of Fortune. Big Soldier of Fortune.
boy.
SOF
Yep.
guy. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so it was a neat. It was a neat little group, and it actually was really instrumental in me getting my start because here was this ready group of gun nuts. So when I started making my first integrally suppressed 22 pistol, here are my people I can sell them to, and I sold a bunch of them just to the guys on the NFA list. But so that thing went on.
Okay.
Actually
I
got
get
away
what you're saying.
And now, of course, I've lost the initial question. What were you asking me about?
Does it
It's
come
all
in the
about the
female
Buttmaster.
version, or is
The
it just
Buttmaster.
unisex? But
Oh,
you're just giving the background on it.
Yeah, but God, I went too deep into it, I guess. But anyway, so one of the guys on there, this guy named
That'll
Doug,
happen.
AZ Doug was his name. We called him AZ Thug because he was kind of a thug. But everything, he made his own suppress. Like he was kind of my competition because he had a suppressed Ruger also. But everything was his was the Sound Master, and all of his stuff had some kind of master after it. So I made the Buttmaster just as a prank, just to make fun of him. And, that's where it started, and it was funny too because if you see when I post pictures of it, I post it with the silencer that goes with it, and it's called. It says Soundmaster rectal concealment model. And the funny thing is, when it's laser engraved, but this is like old school, like CO2 laser, and there's like one guy about 50 miles from here who had it, and and the guy was like this serious born again Christian. So here he is having to write butt master and rectal. He's just like, yeah, I don't know about this.
So for those of our listeners who are not familiar with the Buttmaster, can you just tell us what it actually is? What are we talking about here?
A silly, basically like a pen, what they call a pen gun. It's just a single shot. Can you bring a picture of it? Is there a picture on the internet somewhere? I can't do it.
Yeah, I could do that.
It's just a single shot 22. You unscrew the barrel and you stick around there, screw it down. You pull back this little, basically it's just a screw head, and you put it in a little kind of an L-shaped. Yeah, there you go. There's with the rectal Soundmaster rectal concealment. Quick,
nice.
Zoom in on that one.
It's basically a zip gun.
Yeah, but in the U.S. it's considered NFA. It's an AOW. Yeah, there you go. Soundmaster rectal.
That's fabulous.
Wait, it's why is it AOW? Because what?
It doesn't have
Not
a
a
normal
pistol.
trigger. Yeah, it's a gadget gun.
Okay.
It's hilarious. That's Canada's list right there.
Yeah.
And see, anyone who's familiar with you in Canada, other than the 50 cals, a lot of people know you because this was a huge joke when they banned all these guns, and people are like, "What in the hell is this?" And how many of these did you make?
One. Just
And
one.
where is that one? Is it present in Canada somewhere that there would be a reason to ban it in Canada?
Been sitting in my safe for 25 years. But yeah, I got on the Tucker Carlson show with that. That was the big thing that really made it go all over the place because they thought it was hilarious. Of course, I mean, and Tucker Carlson got to say Buttmaster on live TV a whole bunch of times, and I got to say Prison Wallet on live TV.
Is that the holster for it?
Yeah, well, no, I said, yeah, it's absurd. They're Trudeau is talking about banning these guns of weapons of mass death and destruction, but here's a single shot gun. I said, what are you going to do? Jump into a room and whip this thing out of your prison wallet and bang away with one shot while everyone beats you to death? And, yeah.
Well, it's still a weapon of ass destruction.
Yeah,
Literally.
looks painful.
But it's I'm going to make the production version because it's kind of a dangerous gun. It's like when you're trying to cock it, there's this little. It's a J-shaped slot that.
So you HK slap it to fire it?
Yeah, basically. But while you're trying to put it on the notch, the firing notch, before you flip it sideways, putting on that notch, it's kind of like very. You want to make one where you kind of pull the back and you've cocked it, and now you got a button that you push. It's a little more safe, but
so like you could slingshot it to fire, so to speak.
Yeah, if you held the button down, sure. But the best way is just to pull it back, and now you can one-hand it. And you could one-hand it before, but anyway, it's one of those things that you don't see a lot of things like that in production because from a manufacturer standpoint, it's
liability.
It's dangerous and it sucks because we should be able to play. I mean, all this shit's dangerous. The fucking bullet comes out of it, Mach 1. So what do you think? So, but people will go and say, oh, this is more dangerous than it should have been. I hurt myself and I shouldn't have, so I'm suing you. And it's like, oh, fuck.
I'm an idiot, so I hired a lawyer.
Yeah, and you want to, and I've been lucky. I'm knocking on wood. I've doing this 30 years, and never been sued for anything. So that's damn lucky.
Well, I think less average consumer will like go into the store and say, "I want a Serbu 50 cal, please."
Yeah, that does help having a niche that we're in the gun business.
Yeah. You're not making 1 billion guns a month, so
we're not Keltec.
You're not Keltec. You've probably used more metal than they have in their entire lifetime. So,
it's funny when we were over there. I went with Toby Obermeit. He was their chief engineer for 20-something years, and so we got to hang out with him. And but while we were there, George Kellgren, the founder and main guy, he's there. He's 82 years old. I'm like, George, why do you still come to work every day? He goes, what else am I going to do? I'm like, yeah, good point. 82-year-old Swedish engineer. So yeah, why not? I guess.
I know he was up there in age. I didn't know he was into his 80s though.
Wow,
still going to work.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I just want to get to where I'm not, working in the shop every day because that's not a good use of my time. Yeah, I do welding now, so I'm welding.
You need to be working on the business, not in the business so much.
Yeah, well, I need to be designing guns and put. And I finally got people who are actually making my designs that I'm going to get a cut of, and that's the best because that'll
Nice.
get me to a jet.
Yeah.
First, it's a
Small
prop,
jet.
then it's jet, maybe, yeah.
Passive
Yeah,
income, right?
nothing crazy. You know, I'm not going to get too crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, but
What kind of stuff are you going to be working on in the future here?
well, a guy who he started out as just a machine shop making parts for us, and he was all excited about like motorcycle parts because he played with motorcycles, raced motorcycles. And I'm like, man, don't make motorcycles, make guns. Of course, now I've got him into making guns. It's a Miller Precision Firearms, and he makes his own 2011. 2011, 9mm, and man, he does a beautiful job. And it's like these guns are high end, like $3,000-$4,000 pistols, and he's cranking them out. Of course, now he's gone from being our machine shop that makes a lot of parts for us to being too busy to make parts for us. So now we gotta fill that void. But anyway, he's working on my. It started out being the SU-15 upper, which you might want to show a picture of that. The SU-15, not the Russian fighter jet, but the Serbu upper 15, and it's just extrusion. It's kind of like it's basically like a SCAR upper for the AR, and I came up with that, I don't know, 2014 or something, and it would have been huge, but it was just too big of a project for us. And yeah,
That looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Neat.
And it's neat. It's side charging, and the really cool thing it has a what is it? It's the Opera. It's got kind of a, you know what a Daewoo K2 is, right?
Korean, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
they've got basically looks like somebody took an AR bolt carrier and just chopped off the back of it, and then they've got the Opera on top. Okay, there you go. You can actually see the Opera.
Yeah.
It got sexier along the way because now that one's all square. This actually it turns down in diameter, but yeah, you can see it's got the lug in the back there. The carrier and the Opera are two different pieces. But what's really cool is that there's a little tail when that op rod kind of plugs into a pocket in the carrier. There's a little tail that sticks down, and that retains the firing pin. So when you go to take this thing apart, take it out of the gun, it just kind of flies apart. It's so cool.
Nothing to it.
You know,
Yeah.
pull this goddamn cotter pin out and pray and take. This thing just boom, it just flies apart. It's really
That's
great.
cool.
But it's neat because it's side charging. It ran great on full auto. I mean, the thing was just a beast. And it used the same. It was DI technically, even though people look at it and go, well, "What the hell is that?" But it's got a fixed piston at the front, and the front of the op rod, has a blind hole in it, so it just blows into the op rod. So technically DI. But to do it over again, I think I would rather not do it that way because you blow a lot of shit in there. I'd rather just have a tap it and smack on the front of it. But that's what the SCAR did, and I didn't want to really completely copy it. So.
Well,
anyways,
and now in the States with FRTs and suppressors being so big, I mean that's what people would probably want to do to that thing is put suppressor on it and put an FRT on it and
it's cool.
overcast it.
It's different. The thing is like ARs are so fucking done to death. It's like, oh great, a new AR. But here's like, lots of people have AR lowers. Even shitty states that are banning them, they still have them grandfathered. So here's like something new and sexy and interesting for you. So yeah, he's starting to make those, and I get a cut. So that's gonna be cool.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's the way it should be. I mean, because if you can design guns, you're an idiot if you're sitting there working as a welder, right?
Doing assembly, doing customer service.
Stupid.
Coming on podcasts
Yeah.
in Canada.
Canada. Eh? I was on Canadian national radio back in 2015 when I shot a machine gun out of a Cessna and made international news. And this lady's like, so why would you do this? I'm like, well, I can gather from the fact that you're in Canada and from your tone that basically you have no fucking idea why I would do it, but it was for fun.
Because it's awesome.
Yeah, it's fucking America. Yeah, actually, at the time we were approached by a Hollywood production company, the same people who do Pawn Stars. They sent that production company out to do what they call a sizzle reel on my company to do a show. The History Channel wanted to have another gun show, and so we're all excited. So they did this really awesome video. It's on my channel actually. The guys did a fantastic job. But they wanted us to do some outlandish stunts to get publicity. And I'm like, how about shooting a machine gun out of an airplane? And unfortunately, the stunt kind of overshot the mark. But yeah, so I got in not big trouble, but $4,000 in aviation attorneys later, it wasn't so bad.
Oh, $4,000?
you-
Whatever.
Flying, or were you shooting the gun?
Yes.
Oh,
Leaning out the window like a CIA guy in Central America.
No, I took this guy Do It With Dan, who's mostly a motorcycle channel, and my daughter, 50 Cal Val, who's a brat and doesn't do YouTube anymore. The three of us went up and we're flying out over the Gulf and we're shooting machine guns and videotaping. And Dan did a really nice video, really nice music and nice sunset scenes. It was just really, the he does nice videos. But oh my God, as soon as he didn't blur out the airplane registration number. So as soon as somebody said that, they called the people that we rented the plane from, and I got a rash of shit from them. And the FAA sent me certified letters. And it's so stupid, man. When the government goes after you, at least the FAA, they're like, "Oh, Mr. Serbu, we understand that a certain event may or may not have happened at a certain location that you may or may not have been involved." I mean, it wasn't that bad, but it was pretty close. And it was so freaking, there are no details at all. It's like, we understand there's a certain event happened and some FARs, federal air regulations may have been broken. So please, come see us, basically. And
But did anyone die?
He's supposed to say that. But did you die? No. So it turns out it's legal to shoot a machine gun out of an airplane in America. How awesome is that?
Really?
Yeah.
your homemade C-130. It's brilliant. I love it.
And one of the reasons I did is hey, raise your hand if you shot a machine gun out of an airplane. Guys in the military maybe, but mostly they don't either. So it's
Especially
cool.
fixed wings. I know, in Texas, helicopter was a big thing for hawk entertainment, recreation, hawk hunting. But fixed wings, that's
gonna be awesome. Yeah. So anyway, made international news with that. Caused a big stink.
Man has fun.
Yeah, that's the bottom line. Yeah, it was fun. Something different.
Nice.
A little crazy. And it's definitely for a while, people were like, "Hey, you shoot a gun out of an airplane lately?" Yes. What's
All by the FAA lately? Get some emails and calls.
When you're retired, maybe that can be your one of your retirement plans. Come shoot machine guns.
I got in a lot of trouble with that. Not a lot of trouble, but I definitely got in some hassles with them. For one thing, where my plane is housed now, where it's hangared now, I actually had to meet with 3 different high-end people about that because they thought I was this maniac. I'm like, man, that was 10 years ago, but yeah.
They just think you take off to shoot guns every single day. That's just a daily occurrence.
No, in my airplane, unfortunately, the airplane I have now, it's got a canopy that slides back, and you don't fly with the canopy open. Or man,
you could.
If I do find out,
the tail gunner.
No, if I do find out that I can fly with that canopy open, I will be shooting more.
That's what World War II pilots do all the time. It's fine.
Why is there a pintle mount in this thing?
Yeah.
Why are there holes in the front of the wing roots?
Plenty of room there. Yeah, I don't know. It's funny because when my daughter and I went up, we practiced this before, and we brought different guns with us. We even brought a 50 up in there, but I'm like, man, I think if you shoot a 50 inside of a Cessna, there's some pieces are going to be flying out of it. That concussion from the muzzle brake is just too much.
Maybe don't have the brake on it.
Yeah, but then it's like being in a car wreck. You ever shoot a 50 without a brake? It's like, dude, and you're like, where am I?
That's true too.
It's so bad. It's so bad. They're no joke.
Awesome.
So question for you. What is your favorite gun you've ever made?
That's a good one. I would have to say the BFT-50A just because
labor of love.
Well, it's incredibly hard, I'm sure you guys have watched Brandon Herrera.
Brandon, yeah.
Of course. And I'm people don't know it, but I'm behind the scenes on that thing big time. I've helped their guys a lot with advice and tips here and there. Just the other day, actually, because I see one of their videos come on, I'm like, instantly emailing him like, by the way, you don't want to use that. You want to do this. So, but anyway, but even regardless of my help or not, it's a huge undertaking. And of course, he's been working on it for over 10 years. So yeah. Mm-hmm. But what's funny, and I'm dying to do a video of AK-50 versus BFG-50A, and my path to getting it done versus his path. My path was, be a nerd, be a gun nut. I grew up in Virginia, so I would go to the patent office. I would look at gun patents. So I lived this shit forever, and I live it every day still. So my path was learn all that stuff, get an engineering degree, start a gun company, become a gun designer, learn everything you can. And his path was decide I like AKs, become
to make a bigger AK.
Yeah, get everybody to like you, become super popular on YouTube, get everybody. And it's hilarious because it's a completely different path, a different paradigm, as the nerds say. But holy shit, it works. I mean, it's like, okay, now you're this magnet that people are drawn to do work on this thing. And even like, titans of CNC, like, oh, here, let's do some insanely expensive, crazy EDM work for you. No charge. Here you go. And make these parts that fit together like insanely. But, ultimately they finally came up with something. It's beautiful and it works. They still have a couple things that, I give them shit about, or, their guy, Zach. I'm like, you shouldn't do this way, just a couple things, but whatever. The gun works and it is nice looking. But as far as getting it produced, that's a whole other story. I mean, it's such a freaking nightmare. But anyway, so yeah, for me, the BFG-50A was not only, it's one of the hardest guns to ever make because it's going from, a little, like a 9mm 223, 308. It's not just like little incremental steps. Once you get to 50 cal, it's like forces go up, everything's bigger, pressures, everything's just crazy. And so stresses are large and it's hard to even get it to just work right. And people don't realize, and there's a reason they're like 2 in production right now in the country. It's because it's fucking hard. So that was the first thing. It was a cool gun that I always wanted, and I actually did it. And that's neat. And also it's big money. And one day I'll make a lot of money from it.
And even at that, it's still half the price of a Barrett.
It's not quite, but I guess for the 107, it's getting close. So we're finally going to raise it up. So my son, who we lovingly call Jew Boy because he's very business minded. But can I say that on here? But I listen to him about that stuff because he's like, we were selling this thing for $6,500 at such and such a date. He said just by inflation alone, it should be $9,000 by now. I'm like, holy shit, because that just sounds like way too much money to me. So I'm going to $8,000 something. I think that's pretty much.
You don't want to make too much money. Come on.
Yeah. Fuck that.
Crazy talk. You got to earn that jet.
No, it's it is hard to say what it really really costs, but it is a hell of a lot of work. It's definitely it's a lot of art project at this point. I mean, because the welding alone you've got to be a skilled welder to do it. I'm trying to get to. I've got a motorized linear motion thing that I got from Amazon, and I got a laser welder now. So I'm going to try to put this thing, laser welder on this thing, and just have it motorized where it just goes and just. Because we've got a couple of welds that are 19 and a half inches long. And that's
God, that's pretty long.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with the laser doing it with the motorized thing, that's going to change up.
I don't think my hands would be steady enough.
Yeah. Well, just drink beer. That helps.
Okay, that's the trick.
A lot of guys are old drunks. They don't have steady hands, but I'm not an old drunk. I'm just semi-drunk.
Yeah. Well, Mark, I don't want to keep you too late on an evening like tonight, but thanks for coming on. How do people find out or purchase some of your products? They just buy them off your website? Do you go through a distributor?
Don't do it. I don't know.
Sweet Jesus, don't buy it.
Serbu.com. Yeah, I know. People give me shit because they're like, don't you want to sell guns? It's like, but I've never been like a money grubbing whore. I like making cool shit. And I like sharing it, and of course, you're gonna give me your money when we're sharing it with you. But my main thing is not commerce. I don't know. That's why that's why I'm struggling right now and bleeding money in this stupid move. But
It is important to have a business person involved along with the person that likes to do cool stuff.
Oh yeah, and that's why always the really successful companies, they have names like Smith and Wesson, Sturm Ruger, Remington Peters. There's always the nerdy design guy, and then there's a business guy. So Apple. I just never got a business guy, and I don't know. I can't complain too much. I got a decent life, can't complain.
Mm-hmm. Got the airplane, got the guns in the airplane.
Guns in the airplane. It's important.
Sold my Ferrari to Edwin Sarkisian now. He buys all my old cars. I don't know what's wrong with him.
Yeah, awesome.
Do you watch Edwin stuff?
Yes.
Edwin?
Yeah.
He's in
yeah. Watch Edwin stuff. Yeah. So for those of you out there, Serbu Firearms on the Googles. Serbu.com. Mark Serbu on YouTube, and 50 Cal Val for his daughter.
I'm also on X. I do a lot on X. But 50 Cal Val. She's such a dummy, because I told her, I said, look, if you stuck with this, like here, I don't know, almost 10 years later, she would be huge, because she's the real deal. She's a female who actually works at a gun company. She's not a dumbass. So, and a lot of people liked her. A lot of people liked her videos. She was good at it. She did her own editing, and she learned it all. But she typical chick. She found her boyfriend from, the guy was one of the nerds watching her videos. Next thing you know, they're married. So typical chick. She got her man now. Everything else, all bets are off.
Yeah.
Look, she's not getting fat too while she's at it.
Well, Lena Michelik is doing videos with her husband now on their socials and that kind of thing. Yeah, but anyways, thanks so much for coming on. Amazing having you on, the man, the myth, the legend.
The button master himself.
Yeah, welcome back anytime. When you're finished with the headache, and I don't think you have any more hair to lose about moving to the new place. But once you've done that, we'd love to have you back on to talk about what's coming up next for Serbu.
Sure.
Awesome.
Guys.
Thanks for coming on.
Got me.
Thanks, man.
Thank you, Mark.
Appreciate all the stories. That was great.
Thanks again to Mark for coming on and telling us all about the trials and tribulations of running a firearms business.
More like shooting machine guns out of a fixed plane. Yeah.
And all
How
the
to
other...
homemade your C-130. Live your Angel of Death dreams. Heck yeah.
It's just a C for Cessna 130.
C-130 for Cessna. I got some people mentioning podcasts missing and that kind of thing. It's fixed. I fixed it last week. It's actually not a problem with the plugin. It was a problem with another plugin that we had that conflicted with that plugin. Which
really?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. But that's all fixed. Carlos. Oh no! Wait. This is spam. Yes. Ignore that email. There's no emails that are up to date. Okay, let's move on. Where am I?
YouTube comments?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can you believe it? The Grisent testing a review makes a comment. John Sneed mentions another failure of this gun and another person making excuses for it. Lots of exclamation marks. I don't know. Adriel still have that gun. It seems to work somewhat. Okay.
I have two.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I have two.
All right.
And they get used by my son uses them for 3-gun. One of them.
There you go.
The better one. I got one that's like a little bit more pimped out by Kyle. But yeah, I think I still have two. I had two at one point. Yes, I still have two. I see the other one. Yeah, I have two.
Cool.
I don't want to. If anyone wants to understand.
On last week's episode, Wolf Dar, I was wondering how long it would take for someone to do this. Silver Core Gun Club was up and running before the legislation requiring membership in a gun club for an ATT even came up into effect. Silver Core started in 1994. Legislation came into effect in 1995. So I'm generally surprised it took this long.
Silver Core's had that for a while, though. That associate membership thing.
Oh, fair enough. I'm not too sure what...
I got a buddy of mine who got handguns like 7 or 8 years ago, and I told him, go to Silver Core.
Fair enough. I know CSC have them too.
The associate memberships?
Yes.
Oh, okay, cool. Do you know what they cost?
$150 last time I checked, which is like 5-6 years ago at this point.
Silver Core ones are $50.
Oh wow, okay, cool.
You don't get anything for that.
Well, yeah, CSC neither. But that was kind of what led me onto the wrong track of not pursuing RPELs. Was, do I have to pay $600 a year to shoot in a straight line? And I didn't. Like, no, like outdoor ranges were existing, or like there's actually sports about it. That's fun, and you move around instead of shooting in a straight line. I wasn't that. I don't think I'm into bullseye shooting or that kind of thing.
Yeah, you're not old
Taco
enough.
Berry Production. Sorry, I missed you guys last night. That was on the P3 landing, but I guess you catched up, so it's all good. Illegal Canadian mentioned the police gun was the Smith & Wesson 5946. And Eddie mentions, oh, you're missing one homework, Eddie. I only see one comment from you this week. Tony, from what I found online, PLA pistols are issued in 5.8 by 21. Rifles are in 5.8 42. They seem to like the 5.8. Yes, the rifle is in 5.8. I know that. I did check the Type 92 pistol, which is the service arm until probably today, is in 5.8 as well. And I guess it's kind of the Soviet strategy. We like 30 caliber, so everything has to be in 30 caliber. We like 5.8, everything's got to be in 5.8 then. Pistols in PLA isn't very common. I guess maybe for special forces a little bit more so, but in that kind of a setting, it was always like a officer's thing. So, and our favorite Trevor DeFerlante.
They don't even have pictures of the 5.8 by 21 on Wikipedia. That's how like unobtainium this stuff is. It's got a 46 grain armor piercing bullet that's screaming along at 1,600 feet per second, give or take.
So it's like a Chinese 5.7, I guess.
Yeah. Well, they designed it to replace the 7.62 by 25 Tokarev. Which, okay, follow the 7.62 by 39. What do you do with that? You move it down to 5.45, right? Oh, you got a 7.62 by 25 Tokarev. What do you do with that? You move that down. It's the same thing.
Sure, let's go with that. I don't know. It like the Chinese national television did some.
Oh, it's so cute. I found some pictures.
It's friggin' adorable.
It is
like a tiny little 7.62 39.
It's a 7.62 by 25. It totally is. Look at this. Yeah. Look at that little baby guy there.
That is funny.
It's adorable.
Yeah, that's a Tokarev round, but with a smaller bullet.
Neck down Tokarev round. Yeah.
I think that's well, it's the case is a little bit shorter.
5.8 millimeter standard.
What?
Look God, that is so deep in there. What the heck?
Yeah.
Subsonic too, huh? I guess
they must have supersonic because
supersonic and subsonic.
They have it for both their subguns and handguns, so it's probably a.
Doesn't
matter. I don't know a lot of subguns.
It's a 5.8 by 19.
Wow. You know what, Tony? When you're shooting dissidents in the back of the head from an inch away, it doesn't really matter if it's supersonic or not.
Or you want to make it silent, so you probably want it subsonic. Or
I don't think they care.
What if there's not enough damage? You need a 45, so I don't have to shoot twice. It's important.
You're shooting them in the head from a foot away.
Yeah, exactly.
Although from the pictures that I've seen, they use the Type 81s for that too.
Yes, they
exactly. Do. And our favorite Trevor DeFerlante on shooting a Belfast machine gun, the shorts, testing for a show. No one likes a show off, dude. That's talking to Dustin. So
he's jealous.
He's jealous. Hey Trevor, haven't seen you shooting IPSC matches videos in a bit. Can you show some of it? I need to learn how you shoot a 1911. Thanks.
He's got the RC videos up. I believe he still is shooting IPSC and that kind of thing. He was saying for episode 700 he wants to come back on.
Cool. That's a little bit away, isn't it? A year.
Another year. Yeah, we'll get there in a year.
And Short Stroke Armory. Hey Dustin, sounds like IWR Carmel may be gotten NR status, upside down smiley face. It would appear so. And we did cover that in new gun stuff. And that is all the YouTube comments we have for today.
If you'd like to help the show, when you buy stuff from Cabela's or Brownells, go to slamfireradio.com, click the link first, and then buy whatever you're going to buy. Prices will be the same. They'll kick us some shekels for sending you over there. If you'd like to email the show, send an email to slamfireradio@gmail.com. And another way of supporting us is supporting us on Patreon. We have been putting up videos over there as well. Shoutouts and recommendations. Go ahead, guys.
Thanks, Mark. Appreciated having you on the show and all the stories. That was awesome.
Yeah, I didn't know much about Serbu before. I know because the David and chat always talk about the Super Shorty, and I learned about that. But yeah, cool stories. I'll give a shout out to Adriel for giving me some nice Enfield parts and getting me closer to making it look a little bit more authentic. But I don't think I'll ever get there with this particular receiver because it's kind of permanently.
Has that
damaged
sight
in that way.
has the sight rail been drilled in?
I believe so. Yes.
Take a close look, but yeah, some of them were like a friction fit, but yeah, some of them, like I have a couple up there.
It has a
they're all-
screw on it. I don't think it's supposed to be there.
yeah, probably not.
So,
Yeah.
but the iron sights are not unaffected, so I'll probably just shoot it that way. It will be for my personal enjoyment. I'll also give a shout out to Dave Knox again for
Great guy.
match directing a triple header and then trying to spread the entire mini rifle sport. Currently, mini rifle isn't completely certified through IPSC Alberta yet, but he is pushing for that so more people can get into IPSC and learn about the sport and enjoy their 22 rimfire just a little bit more.
Nice.
Dave?
I already said my bit.
Oh yeah, you already said your bit. Okay.
did.
Sorry, I'm it's
Adriel?
it's towards the end of the show and yeah. I'm forgetting stuff. Me? I don't know. Let's just keep going. Join our Discord server, where you can chat about gun stuff. We put up like links to sales when we find it and pictures and that kind of thing. So go check us on our Discord. Watch us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Join the CSC Park. We'll see you next week.
Good night, Kelly.
Kelly.
So if you have any comments or questions for the show, please send an email to slamfireradio@gmail.com. Now go grab a gun and shoot something.
When the talking is over, it's time to get a gun.